Welcome back to St Anne's here in Higher Openshaw, just outside of Manchester. Today is Thursday the 13th of June, and it's a little bit drab outside, but with any luck the sun might show itself before the end of the day. It has been a manically busy week this week, and this podcast really is to pass on a little bit of information about what's happening over the next week or so. I am on a funeral this morning over in Stockport, so Father Maloney actually will be saying Mass this morning, and there will be the normal coffee morning after Mass this morning in my absence. Then after that I am going over to school to speak to our children about their first Holy Communion, which I know it seemed a long way off when we began all of this, but it is actually this coming Saturday, the 15th of June. So first of all our parishioners and all our listeners, if I could ask you please to say a very special prayer for all the children who are in our Year 3 class. They have been working really, really hard all the way since the beginning of this school year, which was last September, working up to this very special day for them on Saturday. So also this weekend, as you will have heard in the newsletter last week, there is a retiring collection for the work of the Columban Fathers, and there will be a Columban priest joining us this weekend to explain about some of the work that the Columbans do around the world. And for those of you who didn't manage to come to meet Father Jim, the speech I gave almost 8 years ago now when I first came, the Columbans have a bit of a warm spot in my heart because I very nearly joined the Columbans myself. That was a long time ago now, but God had other things in mind for me, and He chased me down the path of becoming a priest for the diocese instead. But the work of the Columbans has always had a bit of a warm spot in my heart. So there will be a Columban priest explaining to us the work that they do around the world this weekend. Next week there's a few little hiccups to our normal weekday Mass schedule. Wednesday next week, which is the 19th, we have a school Mass at 9:15, and that is actually not a school Mass but rather a class Mass, and that is for the years 3 and 4. Now, of course, those children in year 3 will have just made their Holy Communion on the Saturday, and then we're having a special class Mass to celebrate that fact over in their class, and year 4 will be joining them. So that Mass is at 9:15 in the morning, and you are most welcome to come and join us if you possibly can. So next week in school is quite an important week because the Bishop is coming back to the parish. This time he is going to visit the school. Originally he wanted to come last Wednesday, but of course that was in the middle of half term, so that wasn't possible. So as part of his deanery visitations, he's coming back to school next Thursday, which is the 20th of June. And the kind of plan for the day is that he will have a 20 minutes or half an hour with Mrs. Gaffney, and then he would like a guided tour of the school, which I'm hoping some of our children will facilitate that. Then he's going to have lunch with the staff, and that will be kind of the end of his visit to school. Then he will spend some time going to see one or two members of our sick. So what else is going on? Next Saturday morning, I need to put this out now because you need to put this in your diary if you'd like to go. Next Saturday morning, that's the 22nd of June, there will be a special Mass in Moston Cemetery for all those who have people buried there. The Mass will be at 11 a.m, and after that there will be then a blessing of all the Catholic graves around Moston Cemetery. There's about a dozen priests that will be around, so what we're asking you to do is to go to your family grave, and the priests will come and kind of mill around the cemetery there and once we find you at a grave, we will then give a very special blessing to the graves. So that is next Saturday, the 22nd, at Moston Cemetery. So that's really it for the time being. I'm just looking through my diary. Just one little early heads up for all governors, just to remind you that there is a full governing body session on the 27th of June. That's a Thursday evening, and that will be over in school. So once again, thanks for tuning in. And this, like I said at the beginning, this is really just a podcast to give a little bit of information out. So until next time, God bless, and thanks again.